Welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show today. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday and a bright and blissful new year. Last week, we talked about the energy of 2024. So if you missed that, I thought it was a pretty interesting and informative episode as far as what numerology suggests the 2024 is going to bring to us. But today, we're going to talk about what brings you joy. You know, and it's a topic we've kind of touched on, but not really specifically. And as I get further along, you'll know why I'm talking about this. But, you know, I'm starting here. You know, but what brings you joy? And it can be anything that gives you the feeling of upliftment, that makes you feel happy inside, that leaves you with that warm, good, fuzzy feeling inside. And I'm going to talk more specifically about what that internal piece is, but I just wanted to touch on the concept. And it might bring you joy to be with your kids or your grandkids, or it might bring you joy reading a book, or it might bring you joy being in the outdoors or being at the ocean or doing gardening or going to the gym and working out. It really doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're enjoying doing that. So for me, see, I told you I was going to talk about me because, you know, it's all about me, except I think people learn from my weird stories. So I tried, you know, it was suggested to me. Okay, I'll say it this way. It was suggested to me that I work too much and that I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I'm a bit of a workaholic. Oops. So I tried to find more traditional things to do that would bring me joy. So I tried crocheting and I tried gardening and I tried, you know, I like to read. So that was a good thing that, you know, I moved more to the forefront in my life. I hadn't been reading that much in more recent days. But things that many people find fun and joyful didn't really work for me. Okay, I like it. Okay, and I'll admit this. I do like fishing. I find fishing, especially bait fishing, not lure fishing, if you're a fisher person, very meditative. So I like fishing because it's meditative and very grounding and very chill, which is the part I like about the fishing. Unless, you know, as they say, the tug is the drug, and you catch that big fish and you lure it in and you kind of are hooked. And it's very meditative at the same time. So it's like a double. You get a little adrenaline and some chill time. So I'm good with fishing. But again, in this search for things that brought me joy, I wasn't doing too good. You know, doing puzzles, I don't know, all the things that many people find satisfying, I found boring. And I found that it really had no point for me. Or, you know, the end result of whatever you were working on, I wasn't in it. I wasn't into it. And so there are some people, you know, other than thinking that I'm a workaholic, you know, to think that I'm weird because I like my work. I like what I do. I love, and I think people that are here regular know, I love coming and doing this live and being with all of you every week. You know, if you had asked me, all right, now I'm looking at the clock. Okay. If you had asked me 7 minutes ago, right before we came live, how are you doing? I would say, I'm pretty tired. But now I feel like I'm full of energy again because it brings me joy to be here and spend time with you. But other things that bring me joy or get my energy moving is doing research or working with my clients. And so, with that said, and especially if you're a Facebook person, because you'd be able to watch this. So, okay, so this is like my weirder one that most people would be like, are you freaking kidding me? So, I just bought a project house and I just posted a bunch of pictures on Facebook of kind of this derelict that I just bought because it's a project and I like doing that and I like solving problems. And so today, even though like I wasn't totally filled with joy, but I do feel like I have a sense of accomplishment. I pulled, I don't know how many gajillion staples out of the floor where they had stapled down the carpet or the padding. Ugh. But it still brought me joy. So, so what things bring your joy into your life? And if you're not sure of what that sensation is, when we are sitting in joy, when we're sitting in the higher emotional levels, we move more into the flow. So if we're upset or we're mad or we're cranky or, when you're doing that job that you really don't want to, like you go to work every day and you show up because you're giving you money, but there's not really a flow state about it. You're just there. My personal favorite one is, doing your taxes. I don't know about you, but I am never in a flow state trying to do accounting type work ever. So I don't. But to somebody else, that might be their groove. They might enjoy doing that kind of work. It just is not my kind of work. Gardening, yard work, I'll do it, but not a whole lot of joy happening. But when you're in those higher vibrating emotions, it's like it allows spirit to move through you better. And many times it is, it's not a meditation, but you're still going to get the benefit of kind of finding your inner self and being in that place where you're one with yourself. And so, let's see, I'm going to be one with myself and I'm doing something that I enjoy. Woo! What could be better? So when you're in the flow, you feel good when you're doing it. Even pulling staples, I felt good. My back didn't like me, but I felt good doing it. And especially when I was done. When you're in the flow, depending on what you're doing, it might get your brain going. You might sit there and be working through an issue, or it can get your energy flowing. When you're in a joy state or a happy state, so when we're on the higher vibrating end of the spectrum, it's like there's no room for negativity because negativity is on the lower end of the spectrum. So the higher you move, the less negativity you're going to have in your mind, in your brain, and in your life. There's also a sense of satisfaction because you're giving to yourself. When we do things that we enjoy and we find joy in, it is a very self-loving act. I am doing this because it makes me feel good. And many times it's like we give up ourselves to everyone else and there's no time or energy for us to give to ourselves. So when we find things that make us feel joyful, we're loving ourselves during those moments. And with all of that said, when you're doing it or when you're done doing it or, whatever that whole process is, hopefully it will leave you in a peaceful place, but perhaps an excited, peaceful place. And that's okay. That's okay. Um, and just kind of to add to this, many times, we do things that we feel like we should be doing or that somebody else says is, oh, well, this brings me joy. And then we try it and we're like, oh my God, this sucks. But we stick with it because we think, well, it brought them joy. So maybe it should bring me joy too. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, finding things that float your boat, finding things that put you in the groove, finding things that make you happy are all about you and all about what's working for you, not anybody else, just you. Okay, so I don't know. So I'm going to do my little announcements. I'm going to say hi to people, and I would love it if people shared things that brought them joy, because maybe it's an activity or an idea that other people really haven't thought about, trying or exploring or thinking, hey, that would be pretty cool to do. Okay. So as always, tonight's show is brought to you by soulhealer.com. That's my webpage where you can go check it out. There are books and articles, and you can also go there to contact me to schedule a private consultation because you need a session from me. You know how it is. Soulhealer.com. If you're a Facebook person, please like my group, Dr. Rita Louise Live on Facebook. I post a lot of material to that page. And it's a group page. And so, so if you're thinking about being my friend, but I don't accept your friend request, this would be a way for you to interact with me because I really don't have any room in my regular Facebook thing. YouTube, Just Energy Radio on YouTube. You can watch the stream. There are years and years of archives from when I hosted my radio show, Just Energy Radio. When you go there, please like, subscribe to the channel, set up for notifications, do all of that face or YouTube-y stuff. Okay, so I have some information. So you can listen to this stream on Rumble, Psychic Doc on Rumble, if you hate Facebook and hate YouTube, but you're there because you want to hang out with me. What I did learn was that if you are on Rumble, you can only view the live stream. You cannot comment. I was wondering about that, why I haven't had Rumble comments. But if you have a Rumble account, if you could follow me, I think that's what you do there. You follow someone, I'd appreciate it. And also in this group, and I'm going to ask this for a while. So Twitter X now lets you live stream and do comments from X. And so if people want, I will change over, or I will do more investigation into that to see what I would need to do to set my stream up to there. And if I did that, I would be dropping Rumble. Okay, just letting you know. Okay, so I was going to, and when you're on, I need to move this up. When you're on my webpage, don't forget to sign up for, here, I'll do it this way. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter at soulhealer.com. Yeah. Okay. So I was going to put this up and talk about my new book. Dang, it was me all along, but bam, I have it right here. If you were here last week, you probably got tired of me sticking it up on the screen and whatever. I actually sold one. I know that I sold one book and it was delivered. Okay. All right. I don't know how many books I've sold, but I know that it was delivered. So I know that it is available. If you order a copy, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, any of those places, you will get a copy. It's not on back order anymore. So yay. Just to let you know, dang, it was me all along pairs really well with my other book, The Dysfunctional Dance of the Empath and Narcissist. Now, this book is great if you find that you end up in toxic relationships over and over and over again because you're an empath and you just keep attracting narcissists to you. And they pair really well together because this book was the follow-up to this book, because obviously after I wrote this book, I didn't figure it out because dang, it was me all along. But one of the things that I realized was if you have health issues, this book oh, and look, they even like a kind of matchy pairs well with my Avoiding the Cosmic 2x4, which talks about why we get sick from a subtle energy perspective. And they pair well. Dang, 2x4. Anyway, so all right, that's my book pitch for today. I am going to change over to the comments, read through them, and then respond to any questions there might be. All right, so we have Nina in the house. Hi, Nina. Thanks for tuning in. We have Otto. Hey, Otto from Ohio. Veronica. I'm assuming, Veronica, that you're talking about last week's show, but it is available on Facebook. It's available on YouTube. It's available on Rumble. It was pretty funny. I was in quite the mood. Hey, Anthony. Anthony's in the house. Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie, with the not happy cat. Barry's here. Hi, Barry. Wendy's here. Hi, Wendy. Happy New Year. Okay, so Otto says, it's all about you. I mean, oh, wait a minute. That's because it was me all along. Me all out of focus. All I can really do is talk about me, because anything else, talking about somebody else, is just gossip. All right. All right. Yvonne's here. Hey, Yvonne. Happy New Year. Wow, we have like a whole big group. Mark. Hi, Mark. We have Blind Dog World headquarters here. He says, hey, Rita and Raylan. Hope this year is great so far. Yeah, all 4 days. But dog, I just bought a house. You need to come by and check it out. And not trip on anything. Hi, Miss Cindy and Gabby. Hi, Jack. Nice and welcome to the show. And then we have Marco. I'll just do one Marco. Okay, I'm going to go back and see if there's any like questions or comments, like real comments, not just hi kind of comments. All right, let's see. So Wendy says, unless I'm doing an activity that I must do, I feel sluggish and sleepy. 5 years ago, I was always a busy beaver. What has changed energetically? Okay, interesting. So what you're showing me, Wendy, is that you need to just give yourself a break. And I don't necessarily mean like a physical break or a functional break, but an emotional break, because I feel like you're beating yourself up a bit, and maybe you're just tired. Maybe your body's tired. Maybe your psyche is tired. And just having that be okay. And just having that be okay. Yeah, I got that. All right, let's see. So Debbie commented, and I'm assuming to Wendy's thing, I totally get that. I felt tired all year. I'm going to say to both of you, I'm going to say, okay, I have to think about this. So in the middle of 2020, I took a break. I mean, literally took a break. And I wrote that book, but after that, not hardly anything. And I only wrote when I felt like writing. I mean, that's why it took me a year and a half to write the book. It's not that I like spend all my time focusing on it, because I didn't have the energy to really do anything, the emotional energy to do anything. And I just really had to take a step back and go, okay, well, this is what I need to do. And everything else is whatever. And it's okay. And I'm not going to freak out about it. But I'm back because now I have a project house. And I posted all pictures on Facebook. So I need to share it to that group page. And so if we've been friends for a while, just to FYI, so when I was working on the renovation of this house, I would post pictures. It's like, this is this room and these are the changes that have been made. And so it's pretty fun to follow. Okay. So Yvonne says, question, I took a break from stand-up and am hate it. Is the universe continuing to show me what I don't want to do? So I push myself to do the thing I do and then put it off? Okay, Yvonne, I'm not quite sure I understand. And I think it's because of there's maybe a typo. So I'm just going to ask a clarification question. So are you hating stand-up, or are you just a bit nervous about stepping back into it? And because, I kind of understand it, but I'm not really understanding. So Yvonne, just clarify for me. Thanks. Okay, so Veronica says, stuff I love, painting stuff like furniture or whatever, research, hanging out with friends, exploring, and traveling. That's really cool. Marco said, Rita, Veronica, hi. All right, but enough, Marco. Marco, you need to say, oh, wait, hang on a second. You need to say, Rita, I'm Marco, and I feel some very important vibes coming off of you. And you should message me so we can do a private reading together. I think you need to do that. Okay, moving on. So Jack says, congratulations on your new book. Thanks, Jack. I'm pretty excited about it. Cindy says, we love you. It's like, we love you too. Hey, Nancy. Nice seeing you. See, this is why I love Marco. He says, Rita, your hair looks great. And I will self-admit. So if there's a picture of me, what do I look at? My hair. If I'm in a film or anything, what do I look at? My hair. If I have bad hair, the whole thing sucks. So Marco must know, and he always says I have good hair. Thank you, Marco. All right, Jack says, Dr. Rita, do you subscribe to the research of late Zecharia Sitchin? So I read, his first 5 books and a couple of other ones. And, so when he released the Lost Book of Enki, and everybody was running around going, oh, look, he revealed all this information. Look, there are these 12 tablets and blah, 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 which that is not what that book was about. That book was a piece of fiction. It says so in the second to last paragraph in the introduction. It made me have to take a step back. Then when I was researching my Man-Made, The Chronicles of Our Extraterrestrial Gods book, and I was looking for the gold that Zecharia talks about in all of his books, that is the reason why the extraterrestrials, the Anunnaki, came to the earth, was to get the gold, and I couldn't find the gold. I found one potential source to corroborate the gold, and that was the Indian story talking about the churning of the Milky Ocean. Possible connection to gold. So then I was going through because I was hitting dead ends everywhere, everywhere. So I decided to actually open his book because I didn't want his books to cloud or contaminate where I was going. Although the question of the gold was a total contamination from Sitchin. And I finally found in his first book where he talks about the Abzu, the watery deep. Well, in South Africa, they have the word Zuab. So instead of ab.zu, they have ZUAB. And I think it meant gold. And according to him, the cuneiform image of that word looked like a drill bit on the side. And so from that, just that piece of information, he made this whole giant assumption of they came here for the gold. And I mean, I got nothing. I don't know where he found it. I would love to have the conversation. I would love to see his source documents that gave him the information to want to move forward with that. And so once I hit that conundrum, I really had to take a step back from his work, those two conundrum, and question its validity. So I guess after that whole thing, so Jack, why do you ask? All right, so Otto has a question or a comment or something today. From a psychic perspective, how come narcissists are so good at energetic damage to the empath? They seem very skilled at it. That's a great question. So a narcissist is a narcissist, and that's just who and what they are. That's who and what they are. When talking about the empath, and this took me a long time to really make this distinction, who they end up getting involved with is the wounded empath. So empaths are just sensitive in general, and many people don't understand them, and they don't understand themselves, and people don't understand them, and they treat them like they're, I'm going to say regular people, but they're not. They're sensitives, and upsetting energy affects them more. And so by the time they become an adult, many times they're wounded. And our society teaches people to take care of everybody. One of the skills that I took on early on, because I'm really freaking sensitive, was to, if the energy became uncomfortable because the narcissist was triggered, I would do whatever it took on my behalf, on my part, in order to smooth that energy out, because if they were calm, I was calm. Now, what I discovered was that was not a good tactic, and really that only injured me more because it caused you to be more of a people pleaser, more codependent. It just added to this pile of woundedness in the empath. And I think you find that very often in people that are empathic. They want to help. They tend to be more people pleaser type people. And, so it's not that the narcissist is good. It's that the empath doesn't say, screw you, get the hell out of here, you freaking narcissist. It takes them a long time to have that energy build up where they can say, goodbye, I gotta go. Does that make sense? And if you have a follow-up question, just, go ahead and ask. So Cindy says she's the numbers girl. Yeah, well, more than me. Hey, Terrence, thanks for coming to the show. I think you're a new face. Narcy. Hi, Narcy. Happy New Year. You can get my new book, The Dysfunctional Dance. It's available on Amazon now, and I'll sign it for you. Okay. Okay. So Yvonne says, I like stand up. So we're back to her other question. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. We got more. She says, I need money and I'm doing some office work, but not liking it. Okay. Well, yeah, but who would? I mean, the stand up is your thing. The stand up is your gig. There are a lot of people, and these, the more fortunate ones that sit there and go, okay, I am doing X because I need the money. I need the gig, I need the income. But where my joy is in doing this thing. And it helps them to balance out, and it makes it where they don't, they'll work, but there's not an expectation that they get this return. When we tend to be younger, we want that return. We want to become the manager. We want to become, the head chief and bottle washer wherever we're working. And after a while, and we're not the president of the United States, we kind of lose interest and circle back more to things that bring us joy. Okay. So Yvonne, I was just kind of asking, and so the conversation, what they're telling me is that it's time for you to get back out there. It is time for you to start kind of increasing your circle. And I'm going to say kind of like a spiral, just slowly making that spiral bigger. But as the spiral gets bigger, you should be charging more money. I don't think that it's appropriate to talk money here, but if you want to have that conversation, we can. I don't think you're charging enough, for what you're doing, or that there are other people that are valuing themselves higher than how you're valuing yourself. Okay, so Marco says, Yvonne, tell us a joke. Okay, so Blind Dog World Headquarters says, okay, random quest. All right, I don't even know what that means. All right, so Susan Brown. Hey, Susan Brown says, Happy New Year's, Rita. Will I find love in 2024? Okay, so that's really predicting the future. But so I'm going to kind of rephrase your question in a slightly different way. In my mind. Too bad Sin isn't here. So Sin is, in here every week with, what about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? So Susan, my recommendation to you is to kind of almost take a chill pill. Your energy just seems really big and a bit overwhelming in your relationship space. Another way of saying it is just too eager. I feel like you have done a lot of work on moving out the negativity that had been there from past relationships. I do feel like you are ready to try again. I feel like you're open to trying again. My concern for you is that you might replay old bad habits, if that makes sense to you. And so maybe taking a step back, and I don't want to say err on the side of caution, but maybe err on the side of caution. I can't tell you that you're going to meet somebody, September 3rd, 2024. But I do feel like, other than your energy is just like, it feels pretty good, so just relax. Just, it's either going to happen or not, and not having so much tied to the outcome. That's how the law of attraction works. That's how we bring things to us when we don't worry about it and when we just have it be open to have happen. So Jack says, love man-made. That's because that book rocks. Veronica said, great question about psychic vampires. Oh, here we go. Blind Dog World Headquarters actually has a question, and it's a random question. Okay, random question of the week. Have you or do you know anyone who has done the Monroe Institute Gateway Experience? So I'm not 100% sure what the Gateway Experience is. I know that the Monroe Institute talks about like astral travel and things of that nature. I've known some people, and that was a really long time ago, that studied at the Monroe Institute. I can't even tell you who they were because they were like people that I knew when I lived in the Seattle area. So we're talking like a million years ago. I have not heard anything. I mean, if it's something you're considering, I have not heard anything bad about them. They are a very well-respected organization. They have been around for a very long time. But as far as that specific program or specific commentary, I don't have any. So I'm going to just throw this to the room. If anybody has any information about the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience program, will you share that with Blind Dog World Headquarters? And I will go ahead, and if you're a Facebook person, I'll say it out loud, so because he's on YouTube. So Sue Brown says narcissists are soul suckers. No kidding. All right. Otto said that gets to it. Oh, Yvonne said, great answer to narcissism question. Thanks, Yvonne. All right. So Blind Dog's back with the same question. All right. Gentlemen, Gateway Experience tapes. Do you have an opinion of them? Oh, so it's more specifically the Monroe Institute Gateway Experience tapes, if you have any information. So Otto wants to know, can I ask more questions? Can you please tell me what's going on with my right shoulder? No, you can't ask extra questions. There's a fee. All right, hang on, Otto. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of stuff going on in your right shoulder, including involvement in your neck. I feel like it's kind of sitting behind that shoulder blade, like right in there. And I'm getting that there's like a big knot there. I feel like I don't get that there's anything broken. I feel like that there's muscle contraction going on. Applying some heat, taking some baths, doing some massage on it. But if you massage it, you need to ice it to balance that out. Go to the chiropractor. Those are all things. I'm not feeling like it's anything serious. It feels more like muscle tightness that you ended up getting a knot. I don't know where you are. I'm in Texas, and it's been like hot, cold, and it hasn't been really fun. And just achy joints. And, I feel like that might be part of what's going on for you. Not anything serious. It just like hurts. Okay. Hope that helps. So Yvonne says, excellent. Thank you, Rita. Your hair looks great, and happy new year. Yay, 2 good hairs. All right. So Veronica says, question along the narc subject. My narc neighbor and I have been warring. I should have glasses in here. Oh, have been warned by our apartment manager, get along or get evicted. Any advice? Neighbor lied about me. I want to move. I mean, I get the impression, the warning has caused your neighbor to back off a little bit. Um, I feel like you haven't quite figured out where you would move to. So that's kind of part of the issue. Um, I'm not really sure what the question is, but cannot move right now. All right, so there was a little cannot move right now. Well, then don't move right now. I mean, if you get evicted, maybe the homework needs to be find a place that you would be able to move in the case that you get evicted. Because, if you get evicted, you have to move and you don't have to complete your lease because they kicked you out. And maybe not even pay rent because they're kicking you out. I don't know much about the eviction process, but getting evicted might not be a bad thing if you really want to go. So maybe you need to pursue where you want to go. It might be a blessing in disguise. Okay, so Sue says, yes, I've been single for 8 years, a lot of healing, and now I'm ready. And Sue, I really do feel like you're ready. And my only comment to you is this kind of over anxiousness thing, like trying to get it versus allowing it to happen. And when you allow it to happen, that's when it's going to happen. Okay? I love this. So Marco says, and this is open to anybody. Marco says, Veronica, I have a big house and I live 5 blocks from the beach. Come over. Okay, so Otto says, I have done the gateway experience on the disc, but never went to Virginia. Okay, so Otto, what did you think? Because that's what Blind Dog is asking about. Did you enjoy the gateway experience? Because he's talking about the tape thing, not going to Virginia. So if you could put commentary, I'll share that with Blind Dog. Okay. So Susan's back and saying, I'm going to college to be an ultrasound tech. That is what I'm focused on most right now. And that's great. That's really great. Okay. And Johanna is in the house and she says, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Joanna. Joanna. All right. So Otto is back saying the CD gateway experience are better than the tapes. Okay, Blind Dog, the CD gateway experience is better than the tapes. Now you know. All right, so now there's all this flirting between Veronica and Marco, and she can bring her dog. And Marco has a pool. Oh, and an outdoor bar. We're all going to Marco's house. We're all going since he just posted all over YouTube. Okay, so I am at the bottom of my list here. Anyone else have any questions for me or any commentary about how they are bringing joy into their life or what they're looking to do in 2024 to bring more joy in their life? And the goal might be, I'm just going to work on bringing more joy in my life. All right. So Joanna said, no ghostly roads tonight. Do you have a question though? I caught the alarm. Oh, yay. Yeah. No ghostly roads tonight. But yeah, go ahead and ask your question. We got 15 minutes. So we got plenty of time for you to type and me to respond. And thank you so much for coming. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to sit here. Wait, I'll do this. Boop, subliminal. Boop, 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 boop. If I could keep the focus. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Sue's back with a comment or a question. All right, hang on. All right. So Sue says, do you see me doing well in the ultrasound career? I do, Sue. Um, and I feel like that's just going to be like the door in. That's going to be the door in, and you are going to move forward from that to something else. I am feeling like there's going to be more education tied to that advancement, but it's going to be good and worth it. But it's not like going to be next week. You know, you need to get into this, and then that path, that road will open up to you. But I do feel like it's going to be more than just doing the ultrasound, which is cool. Okay. So Marco says, Rita, please autograph a book sealed with a kiss and please send. So Marco, if you go to here, hang on a second. If you go to soulhealer.com, that would be soulhealer.com, and then go to shop and then books, you will see this book and you can purchase it off my webpage. And any book that is purchased off my webpage, not from Amazon.com or Barnes and Noble or any of those other places, always comes signed. Always, 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 always. So do that, Marco, and I will send you a book because then I'll have your address and everything. All right. All right. So Otto is back. He says the Gateway Experience start with CD box set and go forward. If you are psychic or empathic, they deal with self-protection. However, I don't think what they do is enough. Well, and it's probably an introductory course. You know, so they can only do so much, and they have to like ask more money to like do advanced things, and it's enough to maybe get you in the door and go take their training or something. Okay, so Johanna says, should I proceed with the paperwork I am considering moving forward on? Okay, a little vague. I mean, when I look at it, you know, I usually like to know like kind of what area I'm going to be talking about. But when I look at it, I feel like you've already made the decision and now it's just more, you know, I want to say procrastination on your part, but I feel like internally you've already made the decision. And so now it's just a matter of like putting a period at the end of the sentence. And so, yeah, I guess you should. How's that? Okay, so Pat, hi Pat. She said, do you see that my husband will benefit from acupuncture or chiropractic for his numb hands? Okay. And it's not you, it's your husband. Okay, so Pat, I'm just going to put this out. So even though I believe acupuncture should be great, but anyone that I've ever sent to acupuncture or said that they've had acupuncture done have not really experienced benefit. I think my mom had some benefit. I don't know. But, and so I'm not going to comment on that. I do feel like chiropractic will help. Because I'm feeling it's not just his hand, it's actually going down his side as well. And I feel like a lot of that issue is happening from his neck. And so I feel like getting that adjusted will, I'm going to say may help. I don't want to like say it will because I feel like it's been that way for a while. But it certainly isn't going to hurt. How's that? All right. So Sue says, thank you, Rita. You're amazing. Yay. And Joanna says, wow. So Joanna, why are you saying wow? All right. So she said, thank you so much. Intentionally vague. You hit it spot on. I think I am procrastinating too. Oops. Um, yeah, you are. I mean, it's not procrastinating. It's kind of like, well, if I don't do anything, then I don't have to like deal with it or move forward on it or think about it. But there's this other part of you that just really wants it. Um, and so just freaking do it. Um, I love you guys. Will I be okay? No, it'll suck and your aura will turn black and nasty and then you'll find yourself stuck out on Stagecoach Road and you'll be like waving as people go by. Oh, I'm going to spook you people. You're going to be fine. I am not seeing where there is a thought process going, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. I feel like you have really checked in and assessed and gone, this is where I need to go. This is what I need to do. And when it comes from that place, then, ooh, okay. So they just kind of threw in a little, it's a very self-loving thing to do when spirit is telling you move forward, but your own crap is going, well, but do you really deserve it? Sorry, that's not me. It was them. I'm blaming them for that one. Okay, Sue is back. I have shingles, found out today, and need, I guess, cardiac surgery. No, cataract surgery on my left eye. Do you see me healing okay? Okay. That's kind of a mixed bag of stuff. I would suggest that you hold off on that surgery until the shingles have resolved. I feel like your body is in a little bit of a stress state. And do you really want to introduce that into a surgical space, especially when it has to do with your eye? There are certain things like your eyes that you don't want to mess up or your heart you don't want to mess up. And so if you can postpone the surgery, I think it would be better. I mean, I feel like even your blood pressure is higher. I feel like there's stuff going on internally that needs to kind of chill. So, okay. Oh, and boom. Oh, and I wanted to say, okay, so Joanna and Debbie. All right, Debbie, where are you? You're like way up here because you've been very quiet. Debbie. All right, somewhere up here. All right, so Debbie, y'all need to be friends. And so I'm just saying that out loud. Be friends. So Joanna, Debbie Goulet is one of my ghosty girls, Marshall ghosty girls. So just saying that. Okay, so Susan says, sorry, I keep calling you Susan. Sue says they're waiting a month for the surgery until the shingles heal. So I hope you were typing that while I was sitting there going, well, you should wait till after the shingles heal before getting the surgery. After that, once your body kind of calms back down, I don't get that the surgery is going to be an issue. I think getting it now, not a good idea. Not a good idea. Okay, Otto says, thank you, Dr. Rita, on the shoulder info. I tend to catastrophize stuff. I feel better now. You said what the chiropractor said. Bam! Thank you, Otto. Okay, so Debbie. The next post is Joanna. Okay, so now they're like, hi, new friend. Yeah. Yay! All right, so I have 5 minutes, you guys. Blind Dog said, but thanks for the feedback. So did that help you? I mean, I wish I could be better service for you, but I think you got some information on whether you should move forward. And I'm going to make a generic comment. There are places that put, a training on tape or a training online or a training on CD, and it's very inexpensive because it's more of an introductory deal, and so having a high expectation that you're going to walk out of there a practitioner is, not right. But if it's free, it's free, and I would check it out. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. If they want a lot of money, maybe I would think something different. Anyway, all right. So Joanna says, hello, PM me and we will visit. Ooh, okay. All right, guys, I'm just going to go do my announcement. I'm actually going to get out of here on time, but don't forget, dang, it was me all along. Now available on Amazon.com, which pairs well with the dysfunctional dance of the empath and narcissist, which pairs well with avoiding the cosmic 2x4, plus my other 4 books that are available on Amazon. But if all of these books are available on my website. They all come signed. They all come with a kiss or like my physical DNA on the cover. So that's good. But if you want to get a book or whatever, please go to my website, soulhealer.com. That's soulhealer.com. Please subscribe to my newsletter while you're there to keep informed of things that are going on. If you're not part of my Facebook group, it's Dr. Rita Live on Facebook. Join the group. It's fun. If you are a YouTube person, Just Energy Radio on YouTube, please like, subscribe, sign up for the notifications, whatever YouTube wants you to do. If you're on Rumble, please go to my Rumble channel, Psychic Doc, and minimally follow me because, they like it when you have people that follow you. So anyway, that's all I got. So I'm going to go. I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Till next week, be blessed.